G'day friends, welcome to today's video. First video in the new house, can't wait. Let's see if this is any different. So, I've got class companions on the screen. This video is a 3-in-1, kind of a look at the fun we'll be having over the weekend at the in-person workshops. I just created this video because I wanted you to not miss out on the fun. I know every time I make these announcements that I'm going to teach somewhere or I'm going to have a meetup somewhere, it's really bittersweet because I get met with so much excitement and then so much disappointment that it's not in someone's hometown, home country, home planet. I would love to meet absolutely everyone where they're at, and hopefully one day, fingers crossed and praying that, this is where we'll grow to and I'll be able to travel a lot more. But for now, it usually does say pretty local to California and Australia. I did a meetup when I was in Australia last time and we had a bunch of people come to that as well. So, I'm really trying my best to get around. But for the moment, we'll be up north. When this video goes up, actually, it'll be the Friday this video goes up. The Saturday, Sunday, we're doing 3 workshops at the Islands Creative Escape in Los Gatos, which is Northern California. Now, because this is going up on the Friday, the classes won't have started yet. So if you want to go to my Instagram and the little saved story highlights, the little circle things under the bio, you can check the links out in there if you still want to register for a class. I don't know if there are seats available in all classes. I'm assuming there still would be. But if you want to come to the meetup as well, I'd love to just say hi and meet you and, chat about washi tape and art journaling war stories. Like, whatever you want to chat about, I'm there for it. So the Saturday we're doing a meetup. So if you can't make it to a class, but you would still love to come by and say hello, just go to my Instagram and check out that Save Stories highlight. You'll find the info in there. Anyway, the video itself is, like I said, 3-in-1, and I'm kind of looking at the 3 workshops that I'll be teaching. So one is Whimsical Illustration 201. The other one is Concept Stamping, which is my new class for this year, which goes along with the Concept Stamp set that I released earlier. And then the last bit of this video is Art Journaling 201. So last year I did like Art Journaling 101 and Whimsical Illustration 101, and this year I'm bringing those back, but we're just changing up the content and going for a bit of a different dive into those subject matters. And it's not like you have to have done the 101 to do the 201. I just wanted to change up all the content, and because I changed up all the content, I changed the class companions as well. The class companions, just little activity reference booklets that help me to stay on track as we're teaching. I get to reference them and guide people through the process with some of those examples in there. And then there's also some bits to cut up and play with in your journals at the back. And the Concept Stamping one is very much an activity booklet to work in as we're going, because that class I'm really excited to dive into how I make the most out of that stamp set and how I find that it's a great tool for beginners, but also for people that, possibly even do this every day. It's a really great tool to stimulate your imagination, which is what I'm all about, because how many times have you sat down and had every intention to do something fun and exciting and just been limited with where your brain goes? I get that a lot. So a lot of the YouTube videos I end up making or creating are how I've kind of, like the collage and illustration from earlier last year, that sparked a bunch of different processes that I would use to try and stimulate that creativity when I felt like I was having a bit of a block. Because I don't really, I don't know, unpopular opinion, I'm not sure how I feel about creative block. I definitely think there are those moments where you get stuck, but and I guess maybe block is the same thing. I might be playing semantics there. I just think that there always is, like, if there's a necessity to do it, I still think there's a way to go about, getting something done. And I guess it more factors into your expectations at that point, whether you feel like you've overcome creative block or not. But there's still always an opportunity to do something, and that's what I like to look for myself. It's not really even to bring that to YouTube. I like to look at that for myself because, since this is a job for me, I don't really have the luxury of turning up to work and saying, well, I can't do anything today. You know what I mean? Like, I treat this like a regular job, and if I wouldn't go into work and say, I just don't want to do it, like if I wouldn't say that to a boss, I'm not going to say that to myself. So a lot of the time, I feel like probably the biggest struggle people have when they're running their own kind of creative type business, rather than motivation. I think motivation is its own struggle, but I think the other biggest struggle is kind of a lack of inspiration sometimes. So I like to create those processes for myself and then, ultimately share them with people if that's something that you're struggling with as well. So that Concept Stamp set is more derivative of the collage and illustration, but instead of, cutting up papers and putting them all together and tracing them, you stamp them all out. You stamp the base out, you stamp all your decorative pieces around there, you work in kind of abstract space where you're just collage stamping, and it is really a great starting point to stimulate lots of new ideas. And I like it because there's sometimes where you'll get something that you inevitably always kind of get something you were never planning, but I like it because sometimes you get something that you just really are taken with. Like I was really into what I did in this video, but then other times you'll get something that make you question your existence on the planet. Like sometimes you just take it way too far, and I really like watching that as well. I think it's super fun to see that, you know, it happens all the time. It happens in any discipline. Like there are going to be days where you just get it, and there are going to be days where you just don't get it. But I think with the collage stamping, because you can do it so quickly, it's like I can get 2 pieces that I love and then 3 pieces that I don't love, and it all happens so quickly that it always kind of feels like a gamble for me. So it's kind of fun. I never know what's going to come out. Anyway, I'm drawing on tags, so let's call this a Tag Tuesday video hybrid as well. Anyone miss the Tag Tuesdays? I've got so many tags left. Honestly, I should probably bring it back just so I could use the tags. But just giving you a really quick ballpoint pen sketch. I've been super inspired by someone that Steve used to work with. She actually just got promoted to be a Disney Animation Studios, like the TV animation, an intern. And her name is Asia Draws on Instagram. I'm going to link her down below because she is super talented and also such a lovely person. We went out to dinner with her, and it was so nice just to pick her brain about part of an industry that I don't know a lot about. Like, I don't know a lot about animation. She does that whole, you know, she's like very into social media and like lots of commission work and, you know, what are they called? Like like conferences. Yeah, she's into cons. She's a con woman. No, she's the cons, like anime con or whatever. I don't think she's into anime though. I'm really not quite sure. But she has a lot of beautiful, a lot of mid-century artwork kind of style as well. So it really threw me back into mid-century Disney illustrations, and I've been completely inspired by her lately. So I'm going to leave her link down below if you want to go check her out. She's a super sweet person as well. So yeah, just that's the kind of the style that I've been drawing. We probably won't look at that this weekend. So if you are coming to the workshops and you're watching this video, we're probably not going to be drawing those ballerinas. I'm not quite sure yet. But the idea of this video is that, you know, whimsical illustration. So we did some whimsical illustration, you know, concept stamping. So now we're going to do some concept stamping. I just wanted to have you just get in on the fun that we're going to be having, and hopefully you feel like you're not left out. Because, you know, I really do struggle with FOMO. Like, I know I say it a lot because that's literally how much I struggle with it. It's a daily thing. I know it really, I think it probably pains me more than it pains you that I can't get out to everybody, because this is something that I really, really love to do. I love to be around other people while I'm doing it. It's kind of why I'm so excited to have moved where we've moved to. And I think I'm gonna jump off track here and just talk about our move. Because I'm in a lot more of a central location to just walk to cafes, and, you know, I've got a cute little Japanese bakery right near me, and I've got Steve and I got married just down the road from where we've moved to, and it's a beautiful place. I really have no, like, there's nothing about what we would just move to that I'm unhappy with. It's just perfect. So feeling very, very happy about that, saying many prayers of thanks for that. The one thing that I think people saw, and probably I should have done a better job at saying how much I loved where we moved to, because it just looked like a massive problem. The couch didn't fit into the house, and I don't want to make this a whole story time video, but truly, we tried every mathematical possibility to angle that couch in properly, and the door is okay. Like, the door would have taken the couch. The problem is our apartment is on the back side of the building, and the hallways aren't all the same width, and the ceiling height is not all the same height. So you would never suspect it because you just don't take notice of those things, I guess. Well, I didn't anyway. When we got here, we didn't realize that this was the narrowest hallway that we live on and with the shortest roof. So the couch wouldn't angle properly. Like, you couldn't angle it to get it into the door. And I was in a bit of denial that it wasn't going to fit. I thought, like, well, it has to fit. Like, that's my couch. There's just no way. It has to fit. And it legit did not fit. We called Danielle because we were like, Danielle will know what to do. And she was funny because she said, well, can you get it through the window? And I was like, Danielle, we live on the 4th floor. What are we going to do getting it through the window? And in any case, the windows are actually just long, narrow windows, so it wouldn't have fit. But I just considered the possibility of having a crane outside trying to get my couch into this apartment. It was so fun. I mean, she was just coming up with solutions, and bless her, it would have worked if there was if we really needed to do that with a different window. kind of hole in the side of the apartment. I'm not quite sure. In the end of the day, we have other friends that were moving at the same time, so they were able to take the couch for their new place, and at least I was getting put to good use, because, you know, that couch isn't very old. I think I bought it a year and a half ago, and it was a nice chunk of change. The cats obviously loved it because they've eaten it to death. But yeah, no, I'm just glad it went to good use, and we ended up going to Living Spaces later that night and just picked out a new one. I needed a couch. Like, I couldn't be bothered trying to figure all that out again. I prayed before we went in. Steve and I prayed. We're like, please let us find this couch. And, you know, the Lord comes through, because we found a couch literally that night. It's not here yet, so we're still kind of sitting on office chairs to watch telly, but we don't really watch a lot of telly right now, so it's not much of a problem. But I'm loving the new place, and I'm just loving that I had that atmosphere where I can, you know, walk down the road with my journal and kind of sit at a cafe and have a coffee and, you know, go out for drinks later at night and just walk home. And, you know, there are people around, and, you know, I haven't really drawn with anyone yet, but I'm really looking for a local group. So anyone in Orange County, let me know. I will legit, when we can go to a bakery and we can just sit and draw together, I would love to trade washi tape with you. So, yeah, I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving the new place. I think what made me love it even more, and not to harp on with a negative story, but honestly, moving out of the last place, whilst it was a beautiful place, you know, like, these companies, we live in these rentals that aren't privately owned. They're owned by these corporations, and they're just so great at, like, forcing you into a corner. And I had cleaned that place. Like, Steve and I spent hours just deep cleaning that whole place. It looked like brand new when we left. I even got the magic eraser and took, like, little scuff marks off the wall, so everything looked perfect. And when we went in, they just found any and every reason to take all of that deposit. And I just felt like it was kind of a little shady, considering, like, because we had cats, they said, well, we're going to have to send the people in there to rip up all the carpet just to check that there are no problems. And I was like, surely you would smell if a cat did something in here, which they didn't. And so I was very pleased about that. But at the end of the day, I guess it didn't matter, because they're still going to charge us for ripping up the carpet just to check, and repainting every single wall. And literally, they even charging us a cleaning fee. And I thought, well, why did I bother spending so long cleaning it if you're just going to make me pay for a cleaner? It was just a lot of, like, you know, taking the rest of the money that they could, and that just left such a sour taste in my mouth. Now, I don't want to say all of that like I didn't expect that was coming. I kind of expected it, because I think it's very common. They know that it would cost you more money to take them to small claims court than to just let it go. But I just felt like, I don't know, it put a really bad taste in my mouth. So I actually went to the place we live now, and I went down to the office, and I was like, can you just be straight with me? Like, well, is that deposit just going to be used for you guys at the end, or, like, would I get any of it back, like, whatever? And she was really sweet. She was like, well, you know, honestly, if you want the full deposit back, you basically have to not live in the house. But she was like, we don't usually take the whole deposit. So at least she was honest with me. I was more happy that she was honest. I can deal with the truth, but I cannot deal with shadiness, especially with money. I am very, very confrontational when it comes to money. So yeah, it was a bit of a sour taste in my mouth, but I think honestly it just left more pleasant feelings for me about having moved out of there and moved to here. So all good stuff, and there's so much light that comes into this place. It's unreal. The setup that we've got going on just looks beautiful. All the art's on the wall. I literally couldn't be happier. So I hope this, you know, I'm looking at the video as it's floating by, and I think it looks great. Not what I'm doing, but, like, the quality. Like, it doesn't look like I've shifted any quality. In fact, it looks a little lighter and brighter than it used to. So maybe that's a reflection of things to come. But I'm really excited about the move, and I'm really, really happy to be here. So I thought I'd share that with you. Anyway, so we've got the classes coming up. I'm very, very excited about that. I think I've said excited about 65,000 times now. Oh, one other piece of really, really important news. I've ditched the sketch planner. I know. I gave it, look, it's June, people. Like, it's a good halfway through the year. I really, really tried, and unfortunately, it just wasn't working for me anymore. So I have since got into a Traveler's Notebook weekly insert, and I'll be working out of a standard Traveler's Notebook. I'll see how that goes for me with the planning. I'm just going to pare it all down. It's just going to be straight planning now. And yeah, I don't know. I'll let you know how that goes. I should probably do more of, like, a check-in with that, because I know we were having a bit of a sketch planner journey together, and I really did try to save it, but yeah, for me, it's just a no now. It's really sad. I'm honestly more sad about it because I did love it last year, but I think 6 months is a good effort, and well, 5 months, I guess. And we'll see how we go with the new one. Anyway, Hope you had a good time watching the video, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.